Renee, it's great to be with you here. Tell us who you are and your affiliation.
Well, it's great to be here with you also. I'm Renee Hopkins. I'm in the communications office at the McCombs School of Business at the university. I write and edit for our online publications, Texas Enterprise, McCombs Today, talk to the media about getting out ideas and news about McCombs. And also, I have from a previous job, I have an interest in innovation. I used to work for an innovation consultancy doing their communications and editing their publications. And so I've been an innovation blogger for a long time, and I still have a Twitter chat called InnoChat. It's Thursdays from 12 to 1 Eastern time. So for InnoChat, in addition to everything else I'm doing here, for InnoChat I'd promised I would see what the innovation lessons from South by Southwest were, and then we'll lead the chat this coming Thursday. I'll lead the chat on South by Southwest stuff.
So tell me, you've been at South by Southwest for a couple of days now.
Yeah.
We're partway through this fabulous experience with all these wonderful people, interactive. What have you seen in the fields of innovation and entrepreneurship that you've observed here over the last couple of days?
Well, it's really interesting. I think South by Southwest kind of skews toward entrepreneurship rather than innovation, the discipline innovation, which makes perfect sense because it attracts people who are doing things and building things, and technology that tends to be the people who are doing startups. And of course, here in this venue, there's the startup village and all this massive amount, really what seem to be massive amounts of opportunities for people startup wise. So it's interesting because I see that. I see the people at South by Southwest offering the same, kind of an ecosystem within which people can learn and get advice. And it seems to be the pieces of it that you see. And frankly, if I were starting a business, I would be here this weekend because it's just unbelievable. In the Startup America Lounge next door, you can sign up for free one-to-one mentoring with people like Steve Case. They are giving away that Steve Blank book on lean startups. There's opportunities to pitch. I haven't really counted them all, but it seems like there's about 4 or 5 different opportunities to pitch your business. And even in the crowdfunding, I went to a panel on crowdfunding, the status of crowdfunding, with Senator Mark Warner, actually, who was one of the people pushing the original Jobs Act through. That was interesting. But at the very end of it, they had people pitch they got 1 minute, 4 different people to pitch their potential startup that they wanted to crowdfund and get some feedback on it. So what are people getting out of this? They're getting feedback on their idea, they're getting feedback on their pitch, they're getting just the kind of invaluable feedback from people who have been there and done it before. And they're also learning. You learn how to fund, how to finance a startup. You're learning about how to validate an idea. And it seems like the people that I have been hearing, especially the students who were talking to you earlier, they talked about, well, if this doesn't work out, I want to fail fast and move on. And I think that's a lesson that you see a lot of around here. Well, let's test and test and test this, and figure out the place at which it either takes off or it fails, at some test, and then we can learn from our experience and we can take that experience and move on. So there's a lot of that going on.
And these lessons apply to the McCombs School of Business and the entrepreneurship programs that we have there.
Absolutely. What's kind of mind-blowing is that we, in a very quick and immersive way, it's much the same kind of ecosystem that is offered at McCombs with the Texas Venture Labs, and at UT as a whole with what used to be one semester startup is now being called Longhorn Startups, and the Longhorn Entrepreneurship Agency, though, groups of people coming together and offering opportunities. Well, of course, and then of course the TVL opportunities are, specific to the master's level students, and those are very serious, kinds of startups where people have worked for months and months and months on them, and it's a little more than just a weekend. But I also I went to hear President Powers do his talk earlier on the state of innovation in the university, and one of the things that he was talking about was the necessity for the university to create an ecosystem for this kind of thing to happen and then get out of the way. So he said, our job at UT, at my level of UT, is to, give, Bob Metcalf the opportunity to come in and create something like Longhorn Startups and kind of get out of his way and make sure there aren't too many, obstacles in the way. And so I think, you see that at UT, and they do much of that same thing here.
Yeah, the fabulous thing about the University of Texas at Austin is it's a big enough campus with 50,000+ students that we can have multiples of the Bob Metcalfs, the John Doggett's, the Rob Adams, the Melissa Grabers, all of these great professors, teachers, realists.
Right.
It's a phenomenal opportunity to cross-fertilize engineering, computer science, business, pharmacy, whatever discipline one needs for a business.
Right, and there doesn't seem to be a substitute in learning entrepreneurship and learning how to start a business. There does not seem to be a substitute for that one-on-one sort of mentorship, coaching opportunity, and that's what the McCombs professors often, they offer that in the context of the classroom, in the context of the Texas Venture Labs, and all kinds of ways, and that's the kind of thing that's so valuable that you could take advantage of at South by Southwest Interactive too. Just the opportunity to just pitch somebody and get feedback right then. And it seems to me like it's a pattern of just you pitch and you get feedback and then you revise and you just keep going that sort of dialectic back and forth until you finally shape something that you can launch and get funded and move on from there. So, well, excellent.
It's great that you're here and you can share these stories with the students, with the faculty, with those of you that will see this online at YouTube. We wish you could be here with us, but if you can't be here with us and you're thinking about a university, consider the University of Texas at Austin.
That's right. What starts here changes the world.
What starts here changes the world. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.